special day, this very special day, Mother's Day. Being a mother, it is and has been my favorite job of my life. I feel like it's been my vocation. And it's so funny, I attended the wonderful Animal Totems class here, workshop yesterday, here with our very own Carrie Ravenhart, in which we discovered our personal animal totems. So there's 9, didn't know that. But there was certainly a theme going on with mine, and that was mothering energy. And I have to say I wasn't too surprised, and a friend of mine that was here with me, she wasn't surprised either. And she said she recognized that energy as far as for my children, and she said she felt for herself as well. But what did surprise me was how it showed up in the discovery process. It was really quite fascinating. So on her next workshop, I highly recommend attending. At yoga early yesterday morning, the instructor asked us these questions that I ask you now. I want you to take a minute to think on them. So, who do you mother? Is it your children? And who else? Just stop and think for a minute. The other question is, who mothers you? Who do you get your nurturing and support from? Who fills your cup? This could be a she or a he. Just think on it. Because it's really important to have your cup filled as well. There's so many of us that just give and give and forget that we actually need our nourishment as well. I remember when I was in my early 20s, I did a cross-stitch piece for my mom, which simply read, "A mother's love outshines the sun." And that's always rung true for me. My sister and I were very blessed to have such a wonderful mother, and her mothering skills were astonishing, especially considering her beginnings. We'll get to that later. Happy Mother's Day. It's a beautiful sentiment for so many, for the precious moms that we have or have had, and for those moms who cherish giving birth or adopting and raising those little bundles of joy. We see the Happy Mother's Day in commercials and heavily advertised to remind everyone, especially our sons. I think it's mostly to remind men, to be honest. I do have 3 sons. To do or buy something to honor their mothers. We see it pop up on the computer, Facebook, TV, stores. It's everywhere. I have great respect for one company who emailed to ask if I would like to opt out for their advertising for Mother's Day, as they realized that this is not a happy day or memories for many. There are many moms who have bittersweet Mother's Day memories as they cherish their times as a mother, yet mourn the loss of their child, be this as an adult or a child or a miscarry. Their precious child who never got to grow old and outlive them. It's heartbreaking. Some women twinge in pain as they hear the words Happy Mother's Day, as they so longed to become a mother, but for various reasons it never happened. And there are many who so long for their moms who have passed, the memories still fresh, their love still in their hearts, but missing their moms here in the person. And there are the children who have moms who were hurtful to them growing up, either by neglect, abuse, or other ways. And those children who always wished for a June Cleaver kind of mom, but instead they got a Mama Dearest. So let us take a moment to bow our heads and send healing to all those who find Mother's Day painful. Divine Spirit, we ask you to send love, comfort, and compassion to all of those who have painful feelings around Mother's Day. May you lift their hearts with lightness, forgiveness, a release of suffering memories, and fill their hearts with the love of many that surround them on this side and in spirit, and to fill them with a divine love. Grant them peace. Amen. And remember to show compassion and pray and send healing prayers for them. Prayers of healing really do make a huge difference in everyone's life. Mother. The definition in the dictionary is a female parent, a woman in authority, specifically a superior of a religious community of women, as in Mother Teresa. Now there was a woman who was not a biological mother to any, but was a supreme example of the qualities of a mother to many. We can remember those people in our lives, whether they are a biological mother or not, share with what we call motherly vibe. We've all been blessed with many nurturing motherly types, like aunts, friends, teachers, babysitters, childcare people, nurses, social workers. And we're all grateful for having all of those people with that beautiful mothering energy in our lives. There's also women that really dedicate their lives to nurturing other women in this caring, motherly way. I just heard of an organization of mothers who support mothers. It was started by just one woman who saw a need for helping the underprivileged with their difficulties around prenatal and birthing care. This organization has now helped millions of mothers around the world with the millions of dollars that they have raised and greatly improved lives globally. So it's this motherly, this nurturing, caring, motherly nature is improving the world in an epic way, which was just started by one caring woman. It's just, again, the reminder of what that one person can make such a difference. Let us take this day also to honor those women who do not have children by choice or by circumstance for what they do to mother others. It's not easy to say. Be that people, furry friends. I know there's a lot of mothers to furry friends around here. And to our planet. My best friend from second grade, Kathleen Denay, has dedicated her life to law and politics to improve the lives of others, especially protecting the rights of children and women. This is one of the thousands of examples of women showing mother-nurturing qualities. I invite you now to close your eyes again and recall a favorite memory of being a mom, or of being with your mother, or grandmother, aunt, mother-in-law, or someone who showed you that tenderness and caring nature of mother. Just feel that. Feel how quickly your mood just floods with memories. Now breathe that into your heart, feeling that love. The love that you gave to them, the love that you received, the connection and depth of that love. Just really feel it. Feel that warmth saturate your body and mind and senses, and just breathe that in and let it fill your soul. Then send gratitude for this memory. Gratitude to the person or people you shared that time with, because love knows no boundaries, not of time, distance, or worlds. Spirit and love are always there for you to connect with. Keep this love in your heart. Now wriggle your fingers and gently wake up and open your eyes. And when we think of the word mother, we usually think of ourselves and the importance that role is to us, whether our own mothers and how we were raised or being a mother. Livestrong website has an article by Susan Duranian, if I butchered her name, on the meaning of being a mother, and she states, "The meaning of being a mother is virtually endless. A mother is a protector, disciplinarian, and friend. A mother is selfless, loving human who must sacrifice many of their wants and needs for the wants and needs of their children. A mother works hard to make sure their child is equipped with knowledge, skills, and abilities to make a competent human being. Being a mother is perhaps the hardest, most rewarding job a woman will ever experience." I find these words to be very true. The hardest and most rewarding. Further in the article, she goes on to state the many fine qualities of being a mother. Unconditional love, teacher, protector, ensuring safety and training them to be safe, a disciplinarian. Most mothers are all of these things and more. Those of us that are mothers can think of many assets we have or had to find in order to be the best mother that we intended to be. And likewise, we know that our mothers did as well. I'm often in awe of my own mother. As an only child whose biological mother left, there was great disharmony, to say the least, in the shared custody, and most of the time she spent at her babysitters, who happened to be more of like a grandmother age. My mom would hide up in a tree when her dad would come to pick her up, and they would call for her, and she would sit up there watching, and then he'd give up and say, "Oh, you can just keep her for the night." And he would leave, and she'd wait just a couple more minutes, and she'd come on back down and come into the house, and Harden would say, "Where have you been? We were calling for you." And she just pretended like she never knew, but she knew that way she could stay in the safety and in the love with my grandmother. So this continued, and so she knew where she was getting her love and care from. And so eventually at the age of 12, she went to court, and this grandmother, this babysitter, became her foster mother. And she was a wonderful, wonderful woman. So what she learned was unconditional love. She was a protector of my mother, and she loved us and her with all of her soul. There's plenty more to tell about those stories, but I'll leave it there. But what my foster grandmother was able to show and teach my mother is that despite Mom's biological mother leaving and her parents' issues, my mom was worthy and totally loved unconditionally. And that is such a gift to give to anyone, whether you're their mother or not. And that mom would always be protected by her. Being a mother isn't just a biological function. It's a way of being. My mother is love. She loved us totally. And we had no doubt. And boy, oh boy, how she loved and cherished her grandchildren. She loved everyone's children, to be honest, and they were all welcomed at our house. She loved to help others. She loved sharing a laugh and a smile with others. She loved to help those less fortunate. She loved helping to teach children to read at school. She would volunteer. She just loved life, which would often amaze me, considering her tough beginnings. Because she could have stayed in that pity party, and she could have stayed resentful in that woe is me state, because her parents were so dysfunctional. But she chose not to. She chose to love and live. And what a beautiful example she has been to us and to others in being what we call the change. Not repeating the familiar patterns. Not staying in a pity party or resentment, but choosing love. I am sure that the love she received from Maharton helped to shape who she became, but she still had to choose. I had a friend who came from an abusive family, but she now is the change. She shows such love and such kindness while raising her children. She's being the mother that she had always wished that she had had. Which leads me to the spiritual law of choice. In Reverend Marilyn Autry's book, River of Life, she states that the law of choice can be termed the engine of our evolutionary process. As you investigate the evolutionary process of your life, it requires that you examine your soul and its growth. When you seek growth, you are able to attune to the higher vibrations within and become more intuitive. Maria Robinson says, nobody can go back and start a new beginning, but anyone can start today and make a new ending. As mothers, we practice unconditional love, and practice. We're given many opportunities for that. Thank you, children. And indeed, thank you, children, because thank you for the practice to increase our ability for unconditional love muscle, teaching us to be better mothers and thereby better people. Everyone benefits when we live in love. We teach our children how to read and some basic things, but the important things we teach them are the lessons in life. By what we say to them and by our examples. We teach them the importance of honesty, integrity, being kind, considerate, good hygiene, looking out for themselves and for each other, how to interact with each other, how to control their tempers, and learn their boundaries. These are just some of the many, many things that we and our children learned from that wonderful woman called Mom. And again, it's not just the biological mother, as you see from the example of my mom's story. Women in general are nurturers. It is in our DNA. We nurture our children, others' children, our pets, our partners, our friends, our gardens, hence the verb mothering. It is when you are showing concern and caring for another, be that a person or for a friend. It is that innate love that makes us want to help and nurture. Babies, how do they do it? You think you know what love is, you're deeply in love with various people throughout your life, and you know what love is, and then a baby is born, and you get this rush of love that just flourishes out of your inner being that you didn't even know you had. You didn't know you were capable of. These are some of the lessons that come with being a mother. A friend of mine, Maria, would say to her children, "You will never love me as much as I love you. It's just not possible." And they would protest, and then she'd say, "You'll find out what I mean when you have your own children." And she would say, "This is good, because this is a natural flow parents are meant to pass before the children. So it's kinder in terms of grief." And although I totally agree with her, most of us whose mother have passed over know the huge hole it's left in our lives. We are so accustomed to being able to call Mom and for her to always be there, to share your ups and downs with, to cry and laugh and marvel with. Also, there's a sense of unconditional love that you know that she had for you, and that leaves a gap. This is the woman you have shared a lifetime with, your biggest cheerleader and your biggest fan. Fortunately, we as spiritualists are very blessed to know that spirits, the souls, live on. We miss having our moms here in person, but to have them here in person and physically just share that connections with, that cup of tea, that out to lunch, whatever, those hugs. However, we can still stay connected. As a spiritualist, we understand that they continue to exist, and so does their intense love for us. And they watch out for us. They are with us so often and continue to try to guide us along the best path. They are with us so often and continue to guide us along the best path as long as we allow them. Which brings us to the natural law of allowing. Allowing things just be and accept it. It is not your place to be judgmental nor carry any negativity into your life. You really have no choice but to realize and accept when a person has passed on. You do have the choice to allow yourself and spirit to work with your grief and help to process the pain so you can focus on the happy times spent with that person. They would want you to do this. They would not want you to be stuck in pain or stuck in grief, but rather to live in the happiness that was your lives together. There's so much happiness that just comes through when you start to connect with your loved ones, and you can actually allow that in, just allow that in and feel that. And this is just another example of unconditional love. Always there, always wanting the best for you. Mother Mary was a stellar example of a serving mother. She accepted Jesus' faith as she understood from God that this needed to happen, the law of divine order, and trusting in spirit that this was for the highest good of all. As a mother, you have to trust so much, but it's also a constant battle with fear. And then we have the mother we all enjoy, the beautiful, the one and only Mother Earth. There is the beauty that Mother Earth gives us, continually blessing us with her beauty, grace, flowers, trees, plants, rocks, mountains, oceans, animals, birds, and there's just so many, many daily beautiful things to be blessed by when you just pay attention and tune into Mother Earth. Yet humankind doesn't always treat her quite so kindly and give her the appreciation she deserves. We mistreat Mother Earth through what we take from her and the pollution we give to her. Fortunately, more people are becoming aware and starting to take better care of the earth, recycling, picking up trash, and not choosing to use so much plastic. But let us all remember to cherish this beautiful Mother Earth and encourage others to do likewise. Together, and only together, we can save and improve the quality of the environment of our earth. Let us be mindful of our beautiful Mother Earth. And prayers. Prayers of healing, prayers of forgiveness, prayers for unconditional love. We can offer all of this up through spirit for our growth, and for the growth of our children, for others on this planet. There are times of upset when you cannot speak to the person directly. Perhaps they are still too mad, perhaps you are. However, spirit can take your prayers to the other party and work on the healing between you, helping your healing and raising your vibration, which increases the peace in collective consciousness. Never underestimate the power of prayer. It is so nurturing, both to the person doing the praying and to the person that's receiving it. Which leads me full circle back to Mother, a person, a symbol of unconditional love. Caring, nurturing, and so much more. I know I cherish being a mother and am so very, very grateful this experience and learning the love at this level. And I just want you all to just take a moment to honor our own Spiritualist Church of Awareness mother figure, Annette Brown. She steers us, encourages us, teaches us, feeds us plenty, and nurtures all of us in this beautiful church in so many, many ways. We thank you, Annette, and please accept these flowers as a token of our appreciation. Let us all travel through life with a bit of mothering energy in our hearts to collectively make this world one of peace, fulfillment, and mostly love.